Hello, greetings, and salutations. Movie Watcher 123 here, and today we are going to be talking about the best and worst moments of the Ghost and Molly McGee for the third time. Not only that, today is my good friend's Mastermind's birthday. That's right. Mastermind 8000. It's his birthday today. And I thought I'd do this to show him what a good friend he is. So, once my friends join in, we'll get started. Okay. Like I said, once my friends join in, we'll get started. Okay, well, once we're waiting, I'm gonna put down the first episode. All right, here's the first episode. Bookmarks the Sprite. Now, in this episode, Libby's mother asks her to watch the bookstore while she is out, which becomes a problem when the story Sprite, a tiny creature who has the ability to consume words in stories and become the characters in them, appears. As if that wasn't bad enough, Oliver enters the bookstore looking for ghosts. Molly takes him outside as Scratch and Libby try to defeat the sprite. Eventually, Libby uses her diary to turn the sprite into a clone of herself, who puts all the words back in the books and cleans up the store. Meanwhile, Molly is unable to convince Oliver that ghosts aren't as bad as they seem, but Libby reassures her that there's still a chance for him to change his mind. So yeah, they try to stop a sprite from terrorizing the bookstore that Libby was supposed to watch. And also, Molly tries to convince Oliver that ghosts aren't bad. I don't know if you've seen that episode before, but maybe you should. Check it out when you get a chance. Anyway, I give that a 10 out of 10. Why not? I tell you, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. I give The Ghost and Molly McGee a 10 out of 10. What about you guys? Anyway, on to the next episode. Okay, here's the next episode. Double, double, Daryl and Trouble. Double, double, Daryl and Trouble. This one ought to be good. Anyway, in this episode, after getting in trouble at school once again, Daryl becomes a wraith so he can have fun while his soulless husk does his work. After seeing everyone commend Daryl's husk on his good behavior, he thinks that they prefer to the real him and prepares to run away. However, after overhearing Pete and Sharon lament over how Daryl has lost his spark, Daryl chases his body as it hops onto the back of a garbage truck on the way to the junkyard, as he previously called his husk a quote, piece of garbage, unquote. After he rescues his body right before it can be burned in the incinerator, Daryl re enters his body and returns home. The family becomes gladdened that Daryl is his own self again. Yeah, you know, Molly's brother, Daryl, he's a bit of a troublemaker, always trying to do bad things. Maybe he still does it, who knows? Anyway, everyone's glad that he's back to his own self again. I give this episode a 10 out of 10. All right. I've provided this link in case you want to join in. Feel free to come and help me celebrate Mastermind's birthday. All right. Next episode. All right. Here's the next one. Faint of Art. Now, in this episode, Sharon goes down into the basement to fulfill her passion for painting, but is intimidated by the blank canvas and cannot come up with anything. She continually tries to get away from painting, but her family keeps stopping her. Eventually, Sharon confesses that with so many things that paused her passion in life, she is afraid to do it for real. But Molly tells her that it is okay to feel that way. After Scratch accidentally sits in Sharon's paint and rubs his posterior onto the canvas, Sharon is finally inspired to paint, and Scratch and Molly leave her to paint in peace. So yeah, Sharon, who is Molly's mom, tried to come up with something to paint on the canvas, but unfortunately she couldn't come up with anything because she was intimidated by the blank canvas, pardon me. And after some convincing, Sharon is finally able to paint in peace. Okay, I give that episode um a 9 because I haven't seen it yet. All right. Let me see. All right. Next episode. Here's the next one. A soda to remember. In this episode, as Molly and Libby excuse me, as Molly and Libby reminisce on past memories, Scratch reveals that he doesn't remember anything from his life before he became a ghost, except for a brand of strawberry soda that was discontinued years ago. Fortunately, Daryl is able to obtain a bottle online, but when he shows it to the others at school, Principal O'Connor confiscates it. The four plan out a heist to steal the soda back, but Scratch attempts to sabotage the mission, afraid of remembering something bad. Molly reassures Scratch and they succeed in stealing the soda. When Scratch drinks the soda, he remembers a time as a child when a friend of his moved away and looks off into the distance trying to remember who she is. So, yeah, Daryl bought a soda online, but then the principal confiscates it, and now they try to take it back. What, did I just have a viewer? Come on. Oh, please. So, so when Scratch drinks the soda, he remembers something from years ago when a friend of his moved away. And when he was looking out off into the distance, he tried to remember who that girl is. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. All right. Let me see here. Okay, on to the next episode. Okay, here it is. A period piece. Now, check this out. When Molly invites Libby and Andrea, or Andrea, however you pronounce it, to a sleepover, Libby ends up getting her first period. Having already experienced this event, Andrea helps Libby out and they become closer to each other, even forming a period pact. While Pete and Scratch are out buying period products, Molly becomes threatened by Libby and Andrea's new bond and tries to act more mature to join in, but eventually breaks down. Libby and Andrea assure Molly that everyone grows up at their own pace and that they will still be friends with her, making Molly happy. So yeah, Molly was inviting Libby and Andrea to her house for a sleepover. Things were going great until Libby starts having her first period. Though I don't want to tell you what that is or how it happens because it's too disturbing. Anyway, Molly tries to act more mature, but eventually it doesn't work and she starts to break down. But they assure Molly that they will still be friends with her, no matter how old they get. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Alright. Hey, if you're gonna join, then feel free to do so. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Alright. Okay, next episode. Let me just type it in. Here's the next episode. It's always sunny in Sunnyland. Now, in this episode, when bad weather cancels the McGee's plans for a week's vacation in Sunnyland, Molly decides to bring the vacation to them by creating a makeshift Sunnyland park in their home. She hires Scratch to help out, and the family has the time of their lives. However, the family expects the fun to last the whole week, and Molly starts getting tired planning things out. She tries to hire Libby to help, but Libby is more interested in the rides. After an exhausted and frustrated Molly accidentally floods the house, everyone apologizes to her for not being considerate of her feelings and they let her join in the fun. So, yeah, the McGees were trying to go on vacation to Sunnyland, but unfortunately, the rain cancels their plans and they were very disappointed. Yeah, very disappointed. Hang on. Just a second. Anyway, I give that episode a 10 out of 10. Okay, there we go. See? Do you like this? I didn't know how to set this up until now, but finally I got it. So, like I said, happy birthday, Mastermind. Now let's talk about the next episode. Alright, here's the next episode. I Wanna Dance with Somali. Now, in this episode, Molly is going with Ollie to an upcoming school dance, much to the chagrin of Scratch, due to the fact that Ollie is a ghost hunter. At the dance, everyone deems Molly and Ollie a couple, while Scratch tries to sabotage the dance. Molly tells Scratch that she indeed has a crush on Ollie, and an upset Scratch leaves and gets caught in a ghost trap that the Chens set up. Upon finding out, Molly frees Scratch. and they apologize to each other, with the former declaring that she and Ali are through. Unbeknownst to them, Ali has found out about Scratch and overheard what Molly said, leaving him heartbroken. After the dance, Esther asks Ali if something is wrong, but Ali lies and decides to keep Molly's secret from his family. So, yeah, things were going great between Molly and Ali until something happens and their relationship is over. Yep. And when Esther, presumably his mom, asks Ali if something was wrong, he lies and decides to keep Molly's secret from his family. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Let me see here. Do you need me to put in the link again? Because I can do that, just in case. All right, on to the next episode. Here's the next episode, Davenport's on Demand. Now, in this episode, Andrea takes an interest in coding and creates an app that allows people to order anything. The app proves extremely popular, especially with the McGee family, until Molly finds that small businesses are being closed due to the app's success. After failing to compete by starting a delivery service with the other other business owners, Molly leads a protest against the Davenports to shut down the app. And while Mr. and Mrs. Davenport do not care, Andrea feels bad and shuts down the app while Molly distracts her father. Andrea then promises to use her coding for good from now on. Meanwhile, the CEO of a company called Bismarck decides to expand his business into Brighton. Yep. So Andrea takes a deep interest in coding in this episode and creates an app that allows people to order anything. But unfortunately, it didn't go so well. Although the app was good at first, but then small businesses start to close down because of the app's success. And in doing so, after Andrea realized what's going on, she shuts down the app and promises to use her coating for good. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. All right. Okay. Here comes, I'm going to put down the next episode. Let me see here. Here's the next one. A Doll to Die For. Now, in this episode, Scratch curses a scary troublemaking ghost named Lord Doom to possess the next object he sees, which turns out to be a baby doll in the human realm. Despite coming to the McGee's house to attack Scratch, Molly decides to train Lord Doom in being nice. As time passes, Molly becomes concerned that Lord Doom is trying to kill her, but he reveals that he was only trying to make her a collage. He becomes saddened by how Molly doesn't trust him, but he also realizes that he doesn't belong with the McGees due to his intense personality. He eventually becomes the plaything of Gertrude and Hidalgo's son, Octavius. So, yeah, Molly thought that Lord Doom was trying to kill her. And unfortunately, he was trying to make Molly a collage. Anyway, I give this episode a 10. All right, on to the next episode. Next one, the afterlife of the party. In this episode, Scratch is invited to Jeff's party, but thinking it might be dull, he decides to go instead to a supposedly more impressive party being held by another ghost named Jeff, spelled differently, much to Molly's exasperation, who feels that he should go with whomever invited him first, which was Jeff, Geoff. At Jeff's party, Jeff's party, Scratch sees Jeff, Geoff, there, after all, and tries to hide from him. Jinx, who is also at the party, exposes Scratch to Jeff as revenge for defeating the chairman. It turns out that Jeff had set up the party together, which Jinx knew all along, and Scratch joins in the fun, though Jeff warns him not to trifle with Jeff's feelings again. Yep, there's two Jeffs in this episode. One who's spelled Jeff, and the other is spelled Geoff. They sound the same, but their names are spelled differently. Anyway, I've seen this episode and I give it a big 10. Here's the next episode. Frightmares on Main Street. In this episode, get this, get this. In the Halloween episode that acts as a continuation of I Want to Dance with Some Ollie, Molly sets up a quote haunted house near the school to raise money to help a young boy buy a cow. To help out, Scratch invites all the ghosts to make the haunted house more realistic. Meanwhile, Ollie, now fully aware of Scratch's existence, thinks that Scratch has corrupted Molly and tries to, quote, save her by getting rid of Scratch. The rest of the Chens are then alerted to the presence of the ghost and arrive at the school to look for them. Molly tries to distract them while Scratch tries to get the rest of the ghosts to leave, with Ollie catching Scratch. Molly confronts Ollie about his prejudiced view of ghosts, saying that some can be good when the Frightmares suddenly show up to wreak havoc. Scratch dons his chairman outfit and curses the Frightmares to get trapped in a canister that June had been making to trap ghosts, leaving the latter suspicious. The Chens, except Ollie, who finally trusts the ghosts, vow to keep hunting for ghosts in order to prove their existence to everyone, concerning Molly and Scratch. So, yeah, in reference to the episode I Want to Dance with Somali, things didn't go so well when Scratch invites all the ghosts to make a haunted house they were having more realistic, but then it spirals out of control. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. All right. Okay, here's the next one. The Unhaunting of Brighton Video. Now, get this. A ghost named Blair is haunting the former store Brighton Video, which is due to be converted into a community center, and Molly enlists the help of the ghost friends, including Molly herself, Scratch, Libby, and ex-ghost hunter Ollie, to deal with her. After the group's failed attempts to get Blair to leave, Ollie shockingly takes her side and the rest of the group gets kicked out of the store. Harsh. Eventually, Ollie confesses that he has had trouble getting over his past life of hunting ghosts, which prompts Blair to admit that when she was still alive, she failed to return the horror movie Blood Mansion and died before she could. In order to solve the problem, the group pretends to be employees at the store so Blair can return the overdue movie. She then happily leaves the store, her unfinished business taken care of. So, yeah, they were trying to get a ghost to leave the Brighton video store, but then Ollie, however, takes her side and the rest of the group gets kicked out of the store. Just like that. I mean, harsh. I mean, what was his problem? Anyway, after she returned the overdue movie, she then happily leaves the store and her unfinished business has been taken care of. I give that episode a 10 out of 10. Next episode, 100% Molly McGee. Molly's Thai cousin, Emmy Suksai, or Suksai, comes to visit along with her uncle David and grandma Nin. While excited at first, Molly soon comes to realize that her mother's side of the family is steeped in Thai culture much more than she herself is and feels inadequate. She decides to undergo a cram session to learn more about the Thai language and culture. While she succeeds to an extent, she is still unable to keep up with her family rapidly speaking Thai during a meal and breaks down, deciding that she's not, quote, Thai enough. However, her family empathizes, admitting times when they also didn't feel Thai enough. Emmy says they love Molly the way she is, which makes her happy and declare that she is, quote, 100% Molly McGee. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. All right. Let me see here. Hmm. All right. Next one. All shark, no bite. Now, in this episode, Pete and Sharon go out for a date night, leaving Molly, Daryl, and Scratch by themselves. They watch a horror movie, Fins of Fear, which is about a ghost shark. While Molly and Daryl are terrified, Scratch reassures them that the ghost shark is not real and, donning his chairman outfit, quote, summons one to prove it. However, the trio are terrified when they discover that the summoning worked and spend the night fleeing the ghost shark in terror, all the way up to Molly's bedroom. They eventually realize that Scratch has the power to decide what the ghost shark is, and he changes it into a cuter, docile version of itself. Pete and Sharon return home to find them all relaxing on the couch, and though confused about the ghost shark's presence, decide not to ask. Uh, okay. Anyway, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Hang on a sec. Be right back. All right. Let's talk about the next episode. If anyone's going to join, all right. Here's the next episode, Nin Dependence. After Grandma Nin injures herself, the McGees take her in, but prove to be overprotective of her. She sends them out on various errands so that she can sneak out on her own. When they return and discover that she's not there, they all get worried and search the town for her. Meanwhile, she is found by the other senior citizens of Brighton after suffering a dizzy spell and collapsing, and enjoys their company more. When the McGees catch up to her at the senior home, She tells them that she wants to stay there, where she'll receive better care while still maintaining a measure of independence, and they apologize for the way they treated her. So, yeah, after Grandma Nin injured herself, they decided to take her in, but unfortunately, they were being overprotective of her. That's what happened. All right, I give that episode a 10 out of 10. Here's the next episode, Like Father, Like Libby. Now, in this episode, Libby gets a present from her father in the mail, along with a letter asking for a visit. Libby is excited to meet him, and she hasn't seen him in years due to his travels around the world for his career as a novelist. Her mother agrees to take her on a road trip to see him, though she is apparently reluctant. Libby fantasizes along the way about all the fun things she anticipates doing with him to make up for lost time. But when she finally meets him again, he tells her that he'll be spending his time expanding his newly finished story into a trilogy instead of with her, showing he cares more about his career than her. A heartbroken Libby returns to her mother, who cheers her up and hugs her. Meanwhile, Molly volunteers to babysit Libby's pet turtles while she's away. She quickly loses track of them, but manages to gather them all up just as Libby returns home. So yeah, Libby really wanted to spend some quality time with her dad, but he's more busy expanding his newly finished story into a trilogy. That made Libby very sad. Yep. Anyway, I give that episode a 10 out of 10. Anyway, back to business. All right. Here's the next episode. Dance Dad Revolution. Now, in this episode, Pete's campaign for a plastic bag ban gets ignored by the mayor, who is too engrossed in watching internet videos. Molly helps him out by creating a social media profile and encouraging him to dance while delivering his message, and his videos become extremely popular and successful. However, he eventually gets caught up in internet fame and forgets his original intentions, which concerns Molly. She and the rest of the family hold an intervention with help from the rest of the people of Brighton, and he sees the error of his ways. Meanwhile, Scratch, inspired by Pete's method of influencing through dance, uses it to get other ghosts to do his chairman duties for him, particularly cleaning up a dance hall that was ruined by the Frightmares. This works until the ghosts crave other styles of dance and end up ruining the dance hall again. Okay, yes, his videos were becoming extremely popular and successful, but then he gets caught up in internet fame and forgets his original intentions. Anyway, I give this episode a 10. All right, next one. Here it is, Jinx. Now, in this episode, still upset with Scratch because of the chairman's demise, Jinx jinxes Scratch with bad luck and tells him that if she says his name 3 times, the jinx will be undone. Scratch, with the help of Molly, manages to get Jinx to say his name the first 2 times, but she ultimately finds out about the ruse before she can say it a third time. However, Scratch manages to jinx Jinx back, and they later unjinx each other, though Jinx still holds a grudge against Scratch. So you see, it was all over the fact that the chairman was defeated, and Jinx was upset by that. So she decided to teach Scratch a lesson. All right. I'm going to talk about a few more episodes, then I'm going to end the stream. Let me see here. All right, here it is. Let's play turnip ball. Now, in this episode, Brighton gets ready to face Perfect Borg in a game of turnip ball with Ollie as their new team member, who, despite not knowing how to play the game, keeps making good plays with pure luck. When Ollie suddenly gets a timeout after misinterpreting one of the rules, Brighton begins to fall behind and the team begins to suspect that the Perfect Borgians are cheating. While snooping around in their locker room to investigate, Molly realizes that the Perfect Borg team members are actually very nice and they agree to propose to purpose, purposefully, how do you pronounce that word? Purposefully let the Brightonians win out of pity. Meanwhile, Scratch attempts to outdo the Perfect Borg team's mascot, a meatball, by acting as the Brighton team's mascot dressed as a turnip, but realizes how friendly the meatball mascot is. Unfortunately, Ollie inadvertently causes the team to lose by scoring the automatic loss, but Brighton is just glad that their team actually scored some points and they are determined to win next time. Hopefully, they do. Okay. I give that episode a 10 out of 10. Hang on a sec. All right. I'm going to put down the next episode. Here's the next episode. The ghost is Molly McGee. Now, in this episode, Molly becomes the stage director of Libby's school play, but the children refuse to actually work on it, while the Ghost Council go on strike because Scratch does not show appreciation for their work. Molly and Scratch decide to swap bodies and fix each other's problems. This works out well for the most part, but a girl named Georgie stubbornly refuses to listen to Scratch, while Bartholomew refuses all the gifts that Molly gives him. To resolve these two conflicts, Scratch and Molly calmly talk with Georgie and Bartholomew, respectively, and listen to what they have to say. Afterward, Scratch resolves to let Georgie, who never got a casting role in a play, star in it, while Molly promises Bartholomew that Scratch will no longer eat at the Ghost Council's table. So yeah, they had to resolve two problems, and they succeeded. Anyway, I give that episode a 10 out of 10. What do you think? How would you rate that episode? Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about one more episode, then I'm going to end the stream. Here's the last episode I'm going to talk about, All in the Mind. This here it is. Taking place after the events of A Soda to Remember, Scratch develops bubbles on his body, and his doctor tells him that the problem is in his mind. To allow them to enter Scratch's mind and solve the problem, Scratch reluctantly opens a portal into it. Scratch's mind is revealed to be just a colorless version of the McGee's house, with a monkey wearing a suit appearing frequently. After a long search, Scratch and Molly get sucked inside Scratch's dollhouse, which leads them to a cardboard boat in a strawberry soda bottle. Scratch is eventually forced to tell Molly the truth about the memory he had about his old friend, who was named Adia, and Molly reassures Scratch that she will always be there for him. Wow, that's sad. Anyway, I give that episode a big 10. All right then. Well, this has been a wonderful live stream, everyone. I am surprised that nobody else joined in because today is Mastermind's birthday. Yes, today is Mastermind's birthday. I wanted you guys to join in so we can all wish him a happy one. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And also, happy birthday, Mastermind. I hope you have fun on your special day. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.